I seriously thought I'd been stitched up. When I first heard about Nina from Wedded Kiss, I was sure that they were a premium bridal lace G-string subscription box. Wedded Kiss. I mean, they weren't, but can you imagine? To my delight, the reality was even better. Nina is an extraordinary hair and makeup artist and human who not only possesses unparalleled expertise and experience, but also a unique philosophy that truly sets her apart. With her infectious energy and inclusive mindset, you're going to love her. Nina creates a safe space where everyone that sits in her chair can feel truly seen and celebrated. And her mission is to lift the notoriously low bar of the beauty industry, one brushstroke at a time, without the toxic and passive-aggressive barbs and slurs. In today's interview, Nina shares why she doesn't believe in before and after photos or buy into the culture of continually changing hair and makeup trends. She'll also teach you why your wedding beauty team needs to do so much more than just paint your face, and why her approach can be crucial to how your entire wedding day runs and feels. But that's not all. I invited members from the Unbridely Couples Facebook group to submit their wedding makeup questions for Nina, and she's graciously agreed to answer a couple of them right here in this episode. So make sure you stay listening to the end for all about what to do if you're a crier, and P.S., you're not alone, and how to best communicate with your hair and or makeup artist if you can't do a trial. Let's get stuck into it. Unbridely is a community of pro-wedding vendors who believe in freedom and integrity in weddings, giving you options, solutions, tips and tricks to create the experience and memories that you and your fiancé really want and deserve. Because we believe that weddings are a team sport. With how-tos, stories and interviews with recently married couples, we find out what went right and what they'd change if they could go back and do it all over again. I'm Camille, and welcome to the Unbridely podcast. So, Nina from Wedded Kiss, welcome to the Unbridely podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So excited to get stuck into meaty discussions, and we were just saying before we started that it's best not to overthink these things, so we're just going to dive right in. Tell us a bit about who you are, where you are, and what you do.
Sure. My name is Nina. I'm the owner and lead artist of Wedded Kiss here in Raleigh, North Carolina, in the United States. And we do wedding hair and makeup. I have a team of 9, so plus me makes 10. And we predominantly do hair and makeup for weddings, but also special occasions.
That's not all, because I know a little bit about you, and this is why I want to dig. Courtney and Dana from the Bradford NC and Anthem House told me what a force you and your team are in wedding beauty and how you don't really believe in following wedding trends. Can we talk about that, please?
So I think they're awesome. I think it's fabulous to be creative and, to follow your heart and whatever, the trend is. But I also don't believe in following a trend for trend's sake, just because it's like of the moment, for a multitude of reasons. I think you just have to uniquely be yourself. And I think trends can sometimes make you into something that you think you're supposed to be, if that makes sense. And then the other thing is, if you look back in 10 years and I did a giant laminated eyebrow on you that is of the moment, and then you hate me for it.
Yes, true. Do you know what? It reminds me of something that my mum said to me when I was getting married. And her fabulous opinion was, not really a makeup person herself, but she was thinking, if you're changing your hair and makeup so much from what you're doing every day, that when you're standing at the end of the aisle, your future husband, wife, spouse sort of goes, is that them? Then you've gone too far.
That's the thing. We never want somebody to leave our chair and go wow, I'm a different human completely than when I walked in here. I want somebody to leave going oh my gosh, this is the best I've ever looked. This is a really beautiful version of me. Then I feel so confident.
Yeah.
So my goal is never to make somebody into this prefabricated version of a bride or version of a groom that they're supposed to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, more themselves.
Yeah. And that's kind of like what we're known for, is like more natural and making sure that like we listen, because that's important in our jobs.
Oh, yes, it is.
Hmm.
Talk to me more about that because I find that really interesting.
It can be easy as an artist, as a makeup artist or a hairstylist, to say, okay, I know what's best for you. This is going to look amazing on you. And I can do that. But like I say to my clients all the time, I just met your head. Like you've lived with your head for like 25 years or 30 plus years. What I think is cute for your head may not be what you think is cute for your head.
I love the way you put that.
It's true though. So I never want someone to do what they think they're supposed to, like in quotations, or do what I think is best. I want what's right for them and what makes them feel good. I mean, there's some things that I can kind of like coax people a little and say, like, okay, so for photography, we might need to do a little extra, but only if you're comfortable.
Mm.
I'll always want to make sure somebody is comfortable and feels like themselves. That's our ultimate goal. And to listen to people. If they say they hate it, like, boo, let's fix it.
I read that actually in a Facebook group just today. There was a mother-daughter who went and had their makeup trials, and daughter was thrilled, just went, so happy with this, really love how it played out. Mum, devastated.
Yeah.
And daughter
Yeah.
was going, what do I do? Because she had contacted a
Yeah.
makeup artist who was a part of a team. So she could go, can we have someone else from the team? But she liked what
Yeah.
she had. And yeah, a lot of people were suggesting a lot of different things. And I would love to know what you would say.
Mothers of the bride, we do a lot of their trials actually. And there's some artists in my field that go, oh, I don't want to do that. But for me, the moms a lot of times are putting a lot of financial investment in this. They're seeing people they haven't seen in 20 plus years. They're worried about getting older. So there's a lot of emotions tagged to it. So for me, I would rather see the mom and make her more comfortable, 2 months before a wedding, so that on the day of the wedding, they can relax and go, okay, I can breathe. If a mom comes back and says, hey, it was too heavy, it was too much for me, I don't want to do eyelashes, I'm always going to listen. And I'm never going to say my opinion matters more than theirs. And I think that's where sometimes artists can go wrong. And what I'm constantly saying on my team too is if somebody says they're not comfortable, just give in, say yes. Because if you fight them on it, they're unhappy, they're unsure of themselves. Even though okay, she needs more powder. If she doesn't want it, don't give it to her. You know what I mean? Because I don't want somebody forcing me into something.
But at the same time, Nina, I think sometimes, and maybe, okay, it's a generalization, but especially the mum, I'm thinking that she might not have the courage or have the language to be able to come back and say what she actually doesn't like about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, how can brides and mums and anyone, wearing makeup, like how do they find the language to go, this isn't quite right for me?
Yeah, I think it's a combination. It's hard in the South too. I moved from New York City 6 years ago. So like a lot of my business was in New York City. People are very direct. People are, no, I don't like blush. I want bronzer.
With that accent. Oh, do that again.
I don't want blush. I want bronzer. So when I moved to the South, I realized that I don't know if it's a different way of like being raised or the culture here. A lot of the girls couldn't find the words to tell me the truth. So as an artist, I have to then see the context clues in their face, their body language, see like that they're looking in the mirror and not in a wonderful way. They're kind of going, and I have to say, okay, boo, let's talk this out. What is it that's giving you a little bit of hesitation? And then let's work with it. Like, it's fine. Let's fix it. Rather than them leave, they didn't say anything. I didn't ask the questions. They leave, they send it to their friends. Their friends go, oh my God, your eyebrows are too big, or that lipstick is wrong. They think on it, they sit on it, they talk to their mom. They come back to me, a day later and go, everything is wrong when we could have just fixed it in the moment. So I think it's a combination of people finding the courage to speak up for themselves and also the people on the other end with the brush. It's our job to read the body language. and say, how can we fix this right now so you don't have to stress about it for a couple nights and emails and finding another day to come in?
So it's having a bit of courage. I'd love for you to give the brides that listen and the people who wear makeup, can you give them the permission, Nina?
Oh, 100%. If you don't like something, fix it, because they're worried of hurting our feelings. They're worried like, oh, but she knows what she's doing. Maybe I just need to listen to her. No, this is your day. This is your head. So just say, I love what you did. It looks beautiful, but I'm not sure if it's right for me. Could we try this? And if your person is, a skilled professional individual, they will say, yes, let's try that.
So good, Nina. So good. I guess it's fairly rare outside in the real world for people to run around and
Yeah.
get professional makeup. And so sometimes I think they don't trust their own instincts in that example because you're right. They go, well, you're the professional, you should know. And yet they don't feel comfortable, like right in their gut. And they go home and future spouse goes,
It's better for everybody if you just speak up, because there'll be way less heartache on your part and your artist's part. And like I said, if they're a professional and they've done this a while, they're going to be okay. And you just need to say, I like this, but this might not be what, I'm feeling. Is there any way that we could tone this down or change it a little? Speak up for yourself. It's like a huge thing. Like you can buy this, $2,000-$3,000 dress. And then if you hate the way your head looks again, it's not going to be right. So just advocate for yourself and speak up for yourself. It's essential.
I like how you remove almost attachment to, am I beautiful? Am I not beautiful? And you just go, it's your head. It's what's sitting on top of your shoulders and it's yours and you live with it.
I mean, it's kind of silly what I do. It's kind of silly. I fuss around with a human head. It's hysterical. I've done it 18 years. And I think we put so much pressure on brides to look perfect on their day, and adding a little bit of humor in it and letting go of some of that pressure. If I can do that for somebody because I felt that pressure, I am so happy at the end of the day that they can walk away and be like, oh my God, that was way easier and more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be, because they had built it up in their head, all that pressure. Everything has to be perfect. The bang has to be right. No, you don't. You love each other. You want to have a good time. Make your head cute and let's move on.
I can't tell you how much I love that.
I know. I'm going to keep saying it.
I would imagine these brides are coming to you and they're going, sorry about my nose. Can you?
Yes.
Can you shade it or something? Can you?
The number one thing when somebody gets in my chair, they tell me what they hate about themselves. I'm not going to cry on this. Don't you make me cry. But it hurts me because it's I see these girls walk in and men walk in and they just are like, oh gosh, the second they sit in my chair, oh, we fixed my double chin. Oh, do you have Botox in your bag? And I'm just like, no, we don't talk about ourselves like this. I also think social media and filters have really gotten into people's psyches and they instantly see what's wrong with them. Let's celebrate what's right. So when somebody sits in my chair and says that, I go, tell me 3 things you love about your face. And people are always like, wait, I'm allowed to talk positively about my face? And I'm like, in this chair you are.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome to the nest.
Yes. Yeah, come. And I'm guessing that this sort of vernacular, this sort of thinking is what drives what Dana and Courtney told me that you believe in or you don't believe in, befores and afters. And I am fucking fascinated about that. Talk me through that.
I hate them.
Why?
I understand people like them for the transformation, but I also think there's something about it that says look at what they look like before and look at what I did to them. Aren't they so much better now? To me, hair and makeup doesn't make you better. It makes you confident. We added a little something, a little pizzazz, a little seasoning, and you feel amazing, but you weren't an ogre before. And I think that's what the problem with before and after is. It's like, look at her skin imperfections. Look at his nose. Look at that, and I hate it with body transformations too. And I think it's fat phobic to be like, they were so sad before, but look at them now. And I think that way, I don't want that a part of my business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And our main statement is, you're hot, we add sparkles. Because I never want somebody to think you weren't good before you sat in my chair.
Fuck, I love that. Oh, jeez. Nina, you're an angel. I love it. I love it. So you're bringing him in, you give him a gentle slap around. Okay, none of that.
Yeah.
And then you're like, let's go. And well,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm guessing that whoever gets their makeup and hair done by you might see themselves in a mirror a few times before they head out and, start their wedding day, wedding weekend, whatever. And then they don't really see themselves again until they get professional photos back, right? There might be some social media stuff, but what I think that you're doing as they're sitting there in your chair and you're messing with their head is you're instilling confidence in them.
Yeah.
More than anything, because that's what's going to carry them through their day, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, it could ruin someone's whole day if I do it wrong. Timing wise alone, I could ruin a whole day if we fall behind. But if I don't make them feel good before they put their dress or their suit on, and they don't feel good about themselves, it's going to bleed into the entire day. And so we try to create an atmosphere where it's like a banging, freaking good time at the start. Because if it's all weird and awkward at the start, it's going to bleed into the rest of the day.
It does, right?
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah. I see it. I think the thing that hurts me the most is when there's somebody in the wedding party or a mother who's very stressed out or has some body image issues that has like kind of been generational. And her mother taught it to her. And now she's kind of making these little comments to the bride. That is when it's most painful to me because I can't stop that. I can help her in this chair or him in this chair, but I can't. When I step away, I'm like, ugh, please, Mom, shut up.
Yeah, take it, listener, from Nina. Take it from me as well. Please choose who you surround yourself with so carefully because you're curating your mood on your wedding day as much as anything.
And unfortunately, I've seen it go wrong. And I wish I could protect everyone from that. But if I can just do a little bit of protecting, like when at least they're in my chair, they're not hearing, maybe you shouldn't eat that sandwich today. Your dress is really tight. Or you really probably should have gotten a facial before this. Did you tweeze your eyebrows? There are things I hear people say that I'm like, this doesn't happen in this chair. We don't say that. This is a judge-free zone, boo. Sit, relax. Eat a sandwich if you need to eat a sandwich. Don't pass out. And I think, again, it comes down to pressure and it comes down to just people feeling like they have to be perfect.
That's the thing. I think a lot of people getting married think they have to be perfect to have a perfect wedding day.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe where the disconnect is coming. Only a perfect person has a perfect wedding day. And that's just absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
If you had a sweary, chocolate-addicted, wine-sipping fairy godmother who could help you with your wedding planning, what would you wish for? Perhaps no more waking up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, wondering what you've forgotten, or fretting about your RSVPs. Maybe no more spreadsheets or post-it notes or endless to-do lists. Well, I can help you with all of that. Websites is an Australian wedding website builder, guest management software, and wedding project planner all in one. Why is this such a game changer for you? Well, imagine everything to do with your wedding being in one place, updated in real time in the cloud. shareable to anyone else that's helping you, password protected for your guests, with notifications to tell you what needs to be done next and by when. It's amazing, right? I love how easy Websites is to set up and use, and how there are no ads on the platform yelling at you to spend more money on your wedding. To get started on your very own free wedding website, just head to wedsites.com. That's WEDSITES.com, and enter the code UNBRIDELYPOD, that's Unbridely POD, to get 10% off their paid planning tools. The link is in the show notes.
Yeah, and only a certain kind of look can find love.
Yes. If I'm not pretty enough, if I'm not skinny enough.
If the dress didn't cost enough money.
Yeah.
If the flowers aren't just right. Like, there are a lot of things like that.
Not worthy.
Yeah. And I felt some of that. I got married in 2011. It's been a while. And I definitely felt that, I felt like everything had to be just right. And my dress had to be this size. So I did go, okay, I'm going to go on this crash diet to fit into this, because that's the only way the pictures are going to look good. So I think for me, there's like a little bit of healing in helping others.
Absolutely.
Getting a little emotional.
No, it's good. It's really good, because I think a lot of these thoughts are internalized for couples getting married, and I don't think they recognize them until the day is done. And then they go, oh, I was really hard on myself.
Mm-hmm. I think that's why, for me, it's been so intentional the last few years to go, okay, how can I make just a tiny bit of it, that pressure, feel a little subsided for someone? It also helps me attract a wonderful client, because somebody who wants that kind of energy is the kind of person I want to be around. If I send it out into the universe and they go, heck yeah, body positive, heck yeah, inclusivity, like, that's the kind of human I want in my chair. And if I can help them and relinquish a little bit of that, like, tension for them, it's going to come back towards me too, because I have a great human in my chair, then we're helping each other.
Such a great point, Nina. And I think when people are looking for their wedding vendors, and in particular people who are working on their head, you're right up in their face, aren't you? You do want someone who reflects your values. And I think it's important, dear listener, to remind you that the people that you're excited by are excited by you as well. That sort of attraction that you feel towards them, it's real. It's real.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know, I've got this theory, Nina, that as a wedding vendor, you are 50% your skills, your talent, what you can do for this couple, but 50% how you are as a human.
Yeah.
Your personality. And I really think that's what couples should be searching for, that connection to make sure that their values are replicated on their face and while they're sitting in your chair.
For sure. Especially like on a day that like means so much to you, and you're literally surrounded by everyone who loves you. Like, that is the most overwhelming part about a wedding, is like, at my wedding day, I looked out and I was like, all of these people love me. Yes. So if you have that atmosphere, wouldn't you want the people that you have hired to be a part of that day to also feel that? To also feel some sort of connection to you, to cheer you on, to be happy to be there. So I think it's important. Yeah, price has a lot to do with that. Like, you want to make sure it fits in your budget. But if you're kind of weighing out, oh, well, this person's a little more expensive, but man, did we have a connection on that phone call? Or, oh my gosh, do they represent like values that are in me, I see on their website? I think if you can tweak it a little, I would do it, because I've seen people hire someone and then regret it, or realize it a week before their wedding and go like, oh, I saw something on their website that like maybe I should have paid attention to,
Yeah.
So yeah, research the heck out of the people that are going to be at your wedding on the most important day of many people's lives.
Yeah.
Maybe not for sure the most important. There's lots of important days, but a freaking big one.
Yeah. But if it's a day that you're curating so closely, the people who are around you, you're sitting there agonizing over the guest list. Why aren't you agonizing over your vendor list? I mean, because I find a lot of people put it through the filter of budget. Totally get that.
Yeah.
But, your second filter should be the kind of people they are.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they can do the job for you and the kind of people they are. Because, so I would imagine, you tell me, but I would imagine you're getting up at the crack of sparrows to do this makeup. What, 5 o'clock in the morning, 6?
It depends. Luckily, I have a team, so I don't have to get up super early. But we do have a lot of Indian weddings recently that we have become involved with. And yes, those are early. Those are very early.
Because multi-day for them as well.
Yes.
Wouldn't you be doing it a few days?
It's like 4 days. So like if you don't like me and I'm with you for 4 days, this is an issue.
How awkward.
So awkward. Hello again.
Yes, hi, it's me.
I can feel that you hate me. Here we are again.
Yes. Okay, so I've got some questions for you, Nina.
Yeah, go.
I've got an unbridled couples Facebook group, and so they're all these fucking absolutely fantastic people who are just trying to make the most out of their day without driving themselves insane. So, we really like these people. And Kristen wants to know, so this is her question. I want to know if my undoubtedly emotional crying will affect my makeup. Is there anything I should be asking to be used or avoid?
Okay, I have a few things. One, make sure that you carry a hanky in with your flowers. A hanky, not tissues, because tissues can stick to your face. Carry it in with your flowers, and then as you cry, just put it under your eye to catch the tear, rather than letting them stream down your face. I'm a crier too. I am a mega crier.
Same.
So, and I always say, dab, 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 don't schmear, dab. And so you're just going to catch the tears. Another thing is make sure that if your makeup artist is using a warmer shade of foundation to maybe match your body if you got a spray tan, we want to make sure to really make it a water resistant situation, because if that foundation is much darker than your face and you cry, a tear will come down and create a white streak. So my suggestion is have your face foundation match your body. So if you're going to get a spray tan, make sure you use some sort of tanner on your face so that you won't have that streaking. And one more thing is waterproof mascara, waterproof eyeliner, 100%. Anything else will not work. If it doesn't say waterproof on it and you haven't tried it, like dunked your face in water, it's going to smudge all over your face.
Yeah.
Even in the heat, it gets hot there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It gets real hot here.
Yeah. Here in Australia, we're doing weddings like in the summer. It's 44 degrees Celsius and everyone's running around in 3-piece suits. And I'm like, you're all insane.
Sweaty. Also, if it's that hot out, wear your hair up. Do yourself a service. If you got a lot of hair, just wear it up. If you feel, oh gosh, I don't know if I can do that, then pick a colder month.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a big old sweaty mess.
Well, it's like a blanket, right? Around your head.
Yeah. And once it gets wet, you can't fix, like I can't do anything once your hair gets wet. Like nothing I can do is magic enough for that. Wear that sucker up.
Okay. Waterproof stuff, one color face, one color head, with the rest of your body. And Kate wants to know, this is her question. She is not doing a makeup trial. She knows it's not recommended to skip the step, but she lives interstate from where she's getting married. What questions should she be asking her makeup artist, or what questions should her makeup artist be asking her to help her prepare? And should she be providing images of her skin or inspiration photos? Like, what would you recommend?
I would say look at the portfolio of the artists that you have rather than looking at Pinterest. So that is one thing I always tell my clients, look at our work. And we have plenty of it on Instagram. And each artist on my team has a highlight on Instagram where you can see their particular work every single weekend. Because that can translate to, I have stuff in my kit and you liked this picture. I know what eyeshadow that is. Whereas like a Pinterest picture, is generally studio lighting. It's generally very dramatic, like not a normal makeup. It is an internet, YouTube kind of vibe on Pinterest a lot of times. So I would say, look at your artist's work, look at their style, pick from those inspiration pictures, and then make sure on the day of the wedding, you have enough time buffer and ask them if you can step by step go through it with them. So they do foundation, you have a mirror and go, ooh, I like this foundation. Rather than they do the whole face, you see it at the end and go, what?
Okay, start again.
Yes. And you had no time.
Yeah.
So I think the thing about the trial is it's great because if we want to tweak things, which we will, you can. But if you can't do a trial, just kind of see if you can follow along a little bit and get inspiration pics from their actual portfolio.
That's such a brilliant tip. That's really good. And so is there anything that you want to get across, Nina? Like, what would be your message to all those people out there planning their weddings and planning about how to get their head looking a little bit more sparkly?
I think my number one goal always in this job now is to tell people, do whatever the fuck you want.
Thank you for saying that.
Take all the noise, the magazines, the internet, social media, what your parents are saying, and go, okay, what makes me feel really good? What is going to make me happiest to get married to the person I love? I'm going to do that. Just do that. Take a breath, think of your dream, not everybody else's dream, and do that.
Oh my God. I love you, Nina. I love you, mate.
I love you.
So fucking refreshing. What a great way. I got to tell you, listener. So yeah, Nina's over there in North Carolina. I'm here in good old Adelaide and had to get up a little bit early to have a chat with Nina. But what a way to start my day. Nina, we need to know what's coming up for you. Like, do you have anything exciting going on? What's happening?
I don't know. What is happening? Oh, I'm going to be on another podcast. It's like the year of podcasts for me, which you know, Dana. I will be stepping in as a co-host for an episode with her.
Fabulous.
Very excited about that. But mainly it's just, I think my favorite thing is putting all my love and attention into making my industry a little less, what's the word? Pretentious. My industry can be a little out of reach and a little terrifying. And I think my goal is we're approachable, just shoot me a line, ask me some questions. I'm down.
And so where do people find you, Nina?
Oh, yeah. I am on Instagram and it's Wedded Kiss. I don't do Facebook anymore. Don't judge me.
That sounded like I don't do drugs anymore. I really don't.
I don't do drugs. But yeah, Instagram, and we're on there every single day and I'm posting all sorts of content.
And lots of beautiful inspirational photos from all of your artists as well. Nina, such a pleasure to chat with you. Thank you so much for your time at the end of your busy day.
I'm so thankful to be on here. Thank you for having me.
Cheers, mate. Gorgeous. God, you're a legend.
Yeah.
Fucking yes. Exactly. That about wraps it up for this episode of the Unbridely podcast. For the links and resources we mentioned, please head to the show notes. And if you love the show, please review and subscribe on the podcast platform you're on now so you don't miss out on a single episode. Thanks so much for listening. And remember, weddings are a team sport. Catch you soon.